Mary dreamed of growing old with her husband, but when hope completely died, she chose to end her own life. She thought maybe dying together would move him. Even after death she could continue their unfinished bond. But when her soul returned to the general's mansion, the scene hit her like lightning. Her husband was alive and well, and he had betrayed her, proudly marrying a concubine. Her in-laws smiled at the sight, not a trace of sorrow for her death. Only now Mary saw their true colors. She realized they married her just to grab her dowry. Now she had no use to them. They would discard her without a second thought. Seeing the family celebrate like this, Mary felt broken inside. She swore she'd make them pay if she got a second chance. Maybe fate pitted her. She was reborn on the day her husband faked his death. Mary knew the coffin was empty, but she didn't expose the lie. She played along with them, pretending to mourn her husband. Everyone thought Mary was so naive, but to make her in-laws suffer, Mary threw the funeral in full display, acting clueless. The news spread across the court fast. The emperor remembered the general's feats at the frontier, and posthumously titled him Marquis of Chongqing, allowing him rights at the ancestral temple. He also granted hundreds of acres and tons of gold as compensation for the general's family. The family rejoiced secretly, thinking their scheme was about to succeed. Mary would never let that happen. She thanked the emperor on the surface, but politely refused all rewards. Everyone there was shocked by her choice. No one expected Mary to do this. The maid who pushed her to suicide in her past life rushed forward to stop her. Pretending to be humble, said the general risked his life for these honors. These rewards were bought with blood. How could you just refuse them? Mary didn't argue. She slapped the maid, saying how to handle the emperor's gifts wasn't her place. The maid stayed silent, afraid to speak, thinking only of reporting this to the matriarch. The matriarch stormed into Mary's room furious, demanding answers, questioning why she rejected the emperor's gifts. Mary understood instantly. Her in-laws knew the emperor would reward them. They had set a trap for her. Once she died, they could seize her dowry without a second thought. To avoid suspicion from her mother-in-law, Mary immediately put on a pitiful act and started crying. She said titles, lands, gold and jewels were just worldly things. Her husband suffered at the frontier. What he cared for most were the soldiers who fought beside him. Now giving away all these worldly things, she believed her husband in the afterlife would be comforted. The matriarch was speechless after hearing this, then ordered Mary to go to the palace at a proper time. Money could be refused, but she must ask the emperor to restore the title. Hearing this, Mary remembered how her family had sought justice for her past death, only to be accused of treason by her husband, and cruelly wiped out by him. He even burned down her family mansion. Now she would make this cruel family feel the pain she endured, and her husband, clueless, was eagerly getting close to the scheming woman, planning that after the funeral, he could leave Mary behind and be with the other woman forever. Mary would not let him marry her. She would make him pay with ruin and loss. The funeral day arrived fast. Mary acted devastated and heartbroken, while her mother-in-law fake cried beside her. After everyone left, the mother-in-law called the maid close, secretly instructing her to stir emotions and tempt Mary into dying with her husband. The maid complied. As soon as the coffin was in the ground, she pretended to wail loudly, trying to lure Mary into dying with her. Mary knew exactly. Last life, it was the maid's words. That broke her spirit completely, pushed her to die alongside her husband. Now Mary felt something strange. In her last life she barely saw the general. How did she feel so deeply for him, even willing to die for him? Then a sharp pain hit her chest, and she slipped into hallucinations uncontrollably. She saw her husband smiling and walking toward her, but wary Mary felt an intense unease. She pinched herself hard to stay sane. Pain snapped her awake instantly. Mary realized finally. The candles on the altar were drugged to trap her in illusions, forcing her to willingly die alongside her husband. Mary deliberately sent the servants away, saying she wanted to be alone with her husband, actually to reveal the maid's true intentions. After everyone left, the maid hid in a corner secretly watching. Once she saw Mary truly alone in the hall, she left satisfied. Little did she know the maid's carelessness was slowly pushing Mary to the edge of death.